Hi, welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. The program is Focal Point. Network is American Family Radio Talk Network. Let's play that Bob Beckel soundbite. Again, I think they're pretty spooked by what could come out from this Benghazi thing. We played the soundbite from Charles Krauthammer on Friday comparing this to Watergate, this email surfacing from Ben Rhodes, who was a fiction writer. That's what he does. His degree's in writing fiction. So in other words, he's used to this. He's used to writing stuff that's made up on the spot, that's make-believe, that has no root or founding or grounding in reality. And that's what these talking points were. Made up. This video thing is the explanation for what happened in Libya. A spontaneous reaction. And President Obama said, look, what you got in the Ukraine are obviously militias because they're showing up weaponized. They've got shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles take out helicopters and stuff. Well, we know the guys that came to the compound that night were packing RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades. You don't just that's not what you carry to a spontaneous mob uprising. So they know that this is potential. Well, they know what happened with Watergate, brought down a president. Again, as I said, I think the real issue is what brought President Nixon down was the media. And unless the media turns full-fledged on Obama, he's probably going to survive this thing. And the X factor here is I think the media is getting disaffected with President Obama. They look at him now increasingly as ineffective. They look at him as kind of lazy, as uninvolved, as disengaged, as somebody who is secretive, who said this is going to be the most transparent administration in history, but they find instead he's very secretive. Everything is close to the vest. He's very hostile toward the press. So they're falling out of love with him. But the deal is they are in love with Hillary Clinton. And they know that if the truth comes out about Benghazi, that potentially could be very, very bad for her in 2016. Maureen Dowd, New York Times, big piece today, 42 and 45, Trump 44, outnumber 44, whatever. 42 is Bill Clinton, 42nd president. She's already assuming Hillary Clinton is going to be president number 45, and they're overshadowing 44, that's Barack Obama. So basically for her, she's New York Times. You can't get any more mainstream media than that. Basically, they're saying, look, President Obama's sun is already in eclipse. His time is over. His star is fading, even though he's got almost 3 years to go. Basically, the liberals now are sort of washing their hands of Barack Obama. They're looking past Barack Obama. They're past all the wonder and the magic and the mystique. And now they're looking at 2016 and saying, hey, wait a minute, we want Hillary in there. Hillary's our girl. So everything that the media is going to do, trust me on this, everything the media is going to do between now and 2016 is going to be to make Hillary Clinton look good. That's their whole agenda. And they will be willing to toss Barack Obama over the side of the bus because they can't help him get reelected. I mean, he's been elected to office for the last time in his life, so there's nothing they can do to help him. So they really don't have the same reason they had in the campaign a couple of years ago to be his lackeys and his hacks and his flacks. Now they're hacks and flacks for Hillary Clinton. Barack Obama is just so yesterday to the media. And that's what I think is going to shape what they're going to do about Benghazi. Because the thing about Benghazi that worries them is not the damage it might do to Obama, it's the damage it might do to Hillary because she was in the State Department. This whole thing went down on her watch. Now, you can hear it in Bob Beckel. This is clip number 6. Listen to Bob Beckel. Listen to his reaction when the 5 starts talking about Benghazi.
So they changed the CIA talking points, maybe, maybe not. In the end, there are 225 women missing in Nigeria, little girls. There are endless numbers of friendly fire incidents. We haven't looked at. Wait a second. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Did you jump to the D block?
No, I didn't. Just let me finish. Okay. And let me finish by saying what I think.
Sure.
Hillary Clinton says. We know Islamic radicals killed these people. What difference does it make anymore?
Because they covered it up, Bob.
What?
So they'll do it again.
What administration don't you think covers things up? Every administration covers things up.
Okay, all right. However, should they be able to cover it up just because it makes the president look bad?
Who cares?
Everyone cares. Half the American people care.
Well, not everyone. No, they don't.
Half the American people
out in America today, they are not sitting there saying, gee, I wonder what happened in Benghazi.
Let's put it this way. If it were a Republican president and they lied and they caught him lying, you would be losing your mind. Every single day
things I would go after. Go after the FBI. Go after all the other things you're talking about here. But we've overkilled this. The Republicans are using this purely and simply for political reasons. Not that they don't care about 4 people being dead. But do you think they'd have this committee if it was for the fact it was for politics?
But wait a second.
So there's Bob Beckel just trying to change the subject. I mean, what's happening with these girls in Nigeria, 224, 230 of them kidnapped by Muslims. They're being sold as child brides. I mean, it's horrendous what's going on over there. So it's certainly a horrible tragedy. It's an example of what happens when Muslims are in control. There's no respect for women. There's no respect, especially for minor girls. And so that's a terrible tragedy. But Bob Beckel is trying to change the subject here because Benghazi is so threatening to the Democrats in 2014 and Hillary Clinton in 2016. Number to call, 888-589-8840. Let's go to Dale in Morristown, Virginia. Dale, welcome. What's on your mind?
Hey, I know they're trying to cover up for Hillary and everything, but when she said the words, "What does it matter?" that pretty much gonna seal her right there. But I also want to talk about something else that's even bigger than that nobody talks about is what happened with SEAL Team 6. That needs to get that's even bigger than Benghazi.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. You got a number of scandals there, and when Hillary says at this point, what difference does it make? Well, it makes a lot of difference if you're a family member of those SEAL Team 6 guys that went down in that mysterious helicopter crash. All kinds of protocols were violated in that incident. They were in a helicopter that was not weaponized to protect the occupants. You had way more SEALs on that helicopter than should have been. They have a protocol about how many SEALs can be on an airship at the same time, went way over that. There were other problems where they were trying to land the thing. It looks very suspiciously like a setup. I'll tell you, Dale, I got another story. Thank you for your call. I got another story here that is talking about the fact that, speaking of the SEALs, and I appreciate your call on this, Dale, here is a story from Right Wing News. This is from Friday, Dave Blunt. The SEALs are the cream of the Navy. We all know that. Now, they were the ones that took out Osama bin Laden, although President Obama, if you listen to him, you'd think that he was the one that pulled the trigger. And then we were just talking about this mysterious circumstances under which 17 SEALs died in Afghanistan, a lot of them on the part of that SEAL Team 6. But listen to this. We talked with you before at the beginning of this gays in the military thing. We said, look, this is going to be bad for the military. It's going to be bad for retention, and it's going to be bad for recruitment. We mentioned those. We mentioned the 3 R's: recruitment, readiness, and retention. All 3 of these things are going to be dramatically affected. Everybody said, oh, no, you're exaggerating. It's all hype. It's not going to happen. You're worried about nothing. Listen to this story. The SEALs are being driven out in part by Navy leaders' relentless social issue focus. Not just SEALs either, although the original, message posted to U.S. Naval Institute discussion board by a serving officer noted that the SEALs have just had their worst retention year ever, with most of the Naval Special Operation Elements junior officers saying no to staying in service. Officer and enlisted first-term retention tend to show similar trends. Across the Navy's warfare communities, 2/3 or more of qualified officers are exiting at the 6 to 10 year point, so unhappy with naval service that they leave 1/3 to 1/2 of a pension on the table. That's money, folks. They're leaving money on the table because they are so agitated with what has happened to the United States military. Military pensions do not vest. There is no benefit for an officer or enlisted service member who leaves before 20 years. So you don't stay in for 20 years, you get bupkis. And these guys are cashing in at the 6 and 10 year mark because they are so unhappy with this administration, what's happening in the military. So as we said, these officers, they're not re-enlisting. We talked about retention. Retention rates are going to go down. These are the finest military men we have. These are our leaders, proven, trained, experienced in combat. They are quitting because of what this commander-in-chief is doing to the morale and the policies in the military, and a lot of it has to do with these social issues, gays in the military, women in combat. All right, let's grab a couple of phone calls. Let's go to Mike, Chesterfield, Virginia. Mike, welcome. What's on your mind?
Hey, Brian, thanks for taking my call. As this information comes out, you need to do what you do best. Find the clip. Several of them have been played. Remember, Hillary said, I take responsibility for this entire situation when they were trying to get it off of Obama.
Yeah.
You probably remember that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I take full responsibility for this.
Yeah,
Every time something comes out and they try to make her look good, play that clip.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good point, Mike, and I will guarantee you, if she runs for president, we're going to hear that clip played a lot, and we should hear that clip played a lot. Now, I don't know whether Hillary's going to run in 2016 or not. I have an idea that she's not, but the reality is it's in her best interest to postpone that decision as long as she possibly can, to allow all of this froth and all of this discussion and all of this focus on her and everybody fulminating about her and talking about the wonders of Hillary Clinton. So she wants to keep that discussion going on as long as she possibly can. She's going to wait till if she's not going to run in 2016, she's going to wait as long as she possibly can before she tells anybody. All right, let's go to John, Centerville, Georgia. John, welcome. What's on your mind?
Hey, Mr. Brian Fisher, thank you for what you do. Real quick,
Yes, sir.
with what you just played from Bob Beckel, it just shows me that he and his liberal friends don't care about how many of anybody gets killed to move their agenda along. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, I heard him over and over and over. Who cares? Who cares? I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of people out here who do care.
Well, I agree with you, John. And that's why I suggested what you're hearing in Bob Beckel is panic. And it's panic on behalf of Democrats. You heard him pounding the table.
Yes.
I mean, this is the five. These are all people that are supposed to be collegial and amicable, and everything is friendly. And yeah, we have disagreements, but it's all in good sport. It's all in civility. And man, he was angry. His face was flushed. He was literally pounding the table in his effort.
I don't mean to cut you, but I would challenge my friends that are listening to go to his email, to go to Fox, and to wear them out and let them know that they don't agree with Bob.
Yeah. Well, I think that'd be a great idea. He's kind of the token liberal on that panel. Didn't make liberals or Democrats look very good in that exchange. More phone calls when we come back, 888-589-8840. We'll play some Ron Paul clips from 1997 that you'll love. Stay with us.
We are unapologetic